Life is so stressful. So much to do, such little time, deadlines, busy trains, angry people. Sometimes it seems like there's pretty much no way out.
But supposedly there is, at least according to these guys. They have an answer that can help people like me with our stressed, anxious, and even depressed selves. And apparently it's pretty simple. It's even just one word: mindfulness.
The world is drowning under a sea of stress and depression, and this is one of the solutions. Mindfulness is traditionally cultivated just by focusing on the breath, by focusing on the sensations the breath makes as it flows into and out of your body. You can't take a breath for yesterday, you can't take a breath for the future, you can only take a breath for now. So that brings you right back into the present moment.
Mindfulness traditionally comes from Buddhism, and the idea behind it is focusing one's awareness on the present moment whilst calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts and bodily sensations.
It really is as simple as that. Just 10 minutes of closing your eyes and focusing on the breath and learning how your mind works and how it ties itself in knots. That's all you ever need to do.
We have all these different diets, all these different meditation techniques. What makes people believe, what can I tell people it's not a fad, or is it a fad?
It's not a fad. You need to look at the evidence, and the evidence is clear. It's brilliant for a whole range of serious mental health complaints, but also just the sheer hassle of day-to-day life.
For such a peaceful practice, mindfulness has blown up. There are books on mindful eating, parenting, investing, gardening, even on mindful dishwashing. As well as that, it's made its way into corporations, classrooms, prisons and hospitals. And this is all because there's growing science that mindfulness actually works. There have been thousands of studies on the effects mindfulness has on the body, and what scientists say they see are actual changes in brain patterns. As a consequence, they say mindfulness allows people to handle their brain better and can reduce stress, anxiety, pain and increase creativity.
When it comes to depression, there's been 6 or 7 major international clinical trials that have shown that it's at least as good as drugs or counselling. It's being rolled out across the NHS because it's so effective.
All right, what do I need to do?
Well, I have here a bar of chocolate.
Which started off well.
Danny gave me a quick-fire session under the proviso I was busy and didn't have too much time.
First of all, if you could begin to smell it, just soak up all the different aromas.
Okay.
And then if you could just pop it on your tongue and don't try and gobble it all down, just let it begin to melt on your tongue.
But not everyone thinks mindfulness is a good thing.
There's a fantasy that somehow we live in an unusually difficult world. We're unusually distracted. You have to remember that almost every single decade over the last 500 years, people have argued that we live in an age of distraction. We seem to imagine that somehow this is a new condition. It isn't a new condition. All that it is that we've exaggerated its destructive impact. And instead of dealing with these existential problems in a mature kind of a way, we look for these quick fix therapeutic solutions. What mindfulness does is it distracts people from the real problems they face. The real question is how you integrate into your life ways of intelligently coping with issues rather than just simply ignoring them and allow problems to store up.
Those in the world of mindfulness, though, would argue that it's not about ignoring your thoughts, it's about acknowledging them and sorting out stress. And since today had been particularly busy and stressful, to finish it off, I headed to one of London's secular mindfulness centres. The optimal time for a mindfulness course is 8 weeks, but they agreed to give me a session to see how it all works.
You know, we have all kinds of people coming through our door, but it is really like 25 to 45 working professionals who come after work who are, you know, I don't know, just they look absolutely normal.
Your brains, to me, it sounds like you're like kind of in the Matrix and you're Neo and you can just kind of, you just feel everything. And is that like kind of, how does your brain operate differently to mine? It sounds so beautiful.
So the attention is different, the way you are better able to focus. So if you want to focus on the switch, you can. Okay, some people might have a busy mind, they cannot. So you feel your body better And that's because the brain is more present and aware of the physical sensations in the brain. But also there is an amazing piece of research around the fact that you're less judgmental.
Hello.
Hello,
I'm Benjamin.
Jackie.
So how come you started doing mindfulness?
Well, last year I was diagnosed with cancer, and it completely transformed my life. And it showed me that, in fact, what are important in life with the little things that pass us by, the smell of freshly cut grass, the sun that comes out when you least expect it to. I was recommended mindfulness because it again focuses in on the present, the moment that we all have and the only moment we know we have. Last year when I was in hospital, a nurse said to me, "What would you want your gravestone to say?" And it's probably the most sobering thing that anyone had ever said to me. And the truth is, I wake up every day thinking, am I doing something today that I'd be proud to put on my gravestone? And if I'm not, I make sure I have done by the end of the day.
So the practice of today will be a raisin meditation. So it is a formal practice. So let's begin at looking at this raisin. The shape, the color, bringing curiosity to this tiny morsel of food, exploring the sound. This familiar thing, try to follow the raisin down your throat, all the way down your stomach. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. So you were able to bring your mind back?
Yeah, it was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was. That was very difficult. It's very difficult to concentrate. I think I ate the raisin about 5 minutes earlier than I was meant to. I didn't realise. But yeah, it was also the most I've ever thought about eating a raisin.
Yeah.
It just made it more delicious, even though it's so small.
Lovely. Thank you for
Nice.
sharing that.
So that was my first real session of mindfulness, and although it was not the easiest thing and it was a bit weird because I had to listen to a raisin, having a bit of peace and quiet in the daytime cannot be underestimated, and there is some science behind it, and I did enjoy it, so I think I'm going to give it another go.